anytime your boy is playing big game, whether it's a Euro Cup, World Cup,
It's a lot of big
Champions
games.
League,
That's what happens when you're one of the best in the world.
let's go. Talk your shit,
Yeah,
bro.
even though I have to wear his take because I'm all Liverpool on Saturday. But,
Yeah. So how
yeah.
you going to feel about this?
I mean, they did it in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
although Liverpool had Dejan Lovren at the time, so it was like multiple Croatians playing. But I think I'm just going to enjoy the spectacle of it because I do think this is the most anticipated Champions League final in a while.
Let's see.
I can't think of the last Champions League final that was this anticipated.
I have been telling a lot of people, I've been telling the guys too, because we're going up to Connecticut to Danny's house. So we're going to be there Saturday. I was like, this is a good game for you to watch if you are a soccer fan when there's a major tournament, right? Like, pretty much all my friends watch all the World Cup games because it's one of those things where everyone gets behind it. This game on Saturday is on that level of if you are a sports fan, if you're a casual soccer fan, all the diehards are going to be watching it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a banger of a game, and I really think so. And to answer your question about the magnitude of it and two like popular, it's two popular teams. I also feel like the last couple Champions Leagues, you had two English teams last year,
Yeah, and Chelsea was in kind of flux. Tuchel was there for maybe 3 months.
right?
PSG Bayern, there's just no build up. Yeah.
Well, it was
Yeah.
also the COVID year. There's
Yeah,
no one in
so
attendance. The year before that one was Liverpool Spurs, which
was a
is
dud.
it was a dud, but it was also again two British
Yeah,
teams.
and it was unfortunate that the way the season finished out, it permanently ended. I don't know. They ended really early that year. It was 3 weeks
Before
left,
yeah.
and it was just they looked sluggish, and it was a pretty mad game. Minus the Origi second goal, which was definitely a memorable moment. But besides that, I think the last one I really enjoyed was probably Liverpool Madrid in 2018. And boy, the things have changed.
Yeah, man. Liverpool has been on fire, but Real Madrid has been playing really well too. They wrapped up La Liga very early. Liverpool, it came down to the last game, last couple of minutes too. That would have been poetic,
Oh,
right?
man.
Coutinho and Gerrard.
Stevie G's got a few months. No words can be said about him. Sorry, it's just I'm not even talking like a diehard fan because I have connection with Liverpool, but I will never claim to be like a diehard supporter. But to blow that lead at that time after pretty much not controlling the game, but everything was looking well organized. It's just when you're that close, it's gonna hard to forgive. And it's fitting that Villa have signed like two big time players abroad in the past 5 days. So it's like fitting like their defense has been sketchy all season. Now they make two signings and it's Thursday when the season ended Sunday. So yeah, Liverpool fans have every right to be bitter about Steven Gerrard at the moment.
What's your expectations for this game? How do you feel about it? I know you said that it's two teams that are the right two teams in it. You would say?
I don't think the two right teams are in it. I think if you want the best team, City absolutely should be in. City pretty much completely outplayed Madrid, but Madrid absolutely deserved to be here. But you're looking at PSG, Chelsea, City, they could have lost all three of those games, and you could argue they were outplayed and definitely against City, majority against PSG, and a good chunk of Chelsea. Like it's Madrid team, they're a roller coaster ride, but you want to talk about that DNA. Like this is their tournament, and it's been that way for several years.
Yeah, dude. If they happen to win on Saturday, it would be 14, and it's 6 more than second place. Like the Champions League is basically Real Madrid's,
Right.
and to have them back because they lose Ronaldo, and then it was kind of weird. Like the Real Madrid hype wasn't the same, and I know it's been a couple of years now, but Vinicius stepping in, and I feel like he might be my favorite player in the world right now.
The way he just blazes through defenders.
Yeah, like he got that Brazilian swag to him
Yeah.
too, and just the way he creates and sets up people too. He's so dynamic, and I feel like him and Benzema have just been on fire together.
He's one of those players, Vinicius, when he gets the ball, you get that excitement. You get that anticipation where he's dribbling. It's like, okay, something magical could happen. So that thing, yeah, he's just going to get to you, build himself up. But I wonder how much of them not getting Mbappe is going to affect them because that's been a cloud over this game. Like even though the buildup has been much of build because like they just finished, but it's just man, this was like a 2-year plan for them to get Mbappe, and the fact that it collapsed, I wonder how much I don't think it's going to affect the players, but I think the club itself, it definitely is lingering over them because now it's just like they got to look in the back of their mind like, okay, we still have to invest in the future because even though Madrid, I think they have a really good crop building up.
They got some old heads on the team.
Yeah, and they still like as great as Benzema is, I still feel like they could use one more star, and I think that might be exposed come Saturday because they're facing a team that has a ridiculous amount of firepower.
Yeah, I mean, even their bench, too. They bring these guys off the bench, and it's just like nothing.
They go 5 deep.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm excited for Salah. He asked for Real Madrid when they had asked him after the semis prior to that game. He's like, I didn't get to play in that game. What did he play, like 25, 30 minutes when he got hurt against Ramos? How would you describe the Champions League to someone that doesn't know about it?
For the most part, the best clubs are in it across Europe. Maybe an English team or Italian team might miss out, but most part you're getting the best quality. 32 teams. You might have a couple of surprises that have earned their way. Like this year, we had a team Champions League had from. Oh wow, what was it? What was this country? It was such a random country too. Moldova. There we go. There's a country literally from Moldova. A club made it. They were called Sheriff, and they actually beat Real Madrid, which is hilarious looking back on. But weird is they're from Moldova, but they're owned by like Moldovan millionaires, and they only have like 2 Moldovan players. Other than that, it's like scattershot with Cyprians. I think it might be a Greek or two, a player from Luxembourg.
There's a Greek playing in Liverpool, bro.
And he is absolutely beloved after the FA Cup final.
Kostas!
As people love to call him. But yeah, I think the Champions League it's like one of the biggest spectacles in terms of like the best European teams are in it, and you have your 4 English teams, you have your 4 Italian teams, 4 Spanish, 4 German, only 3 French, which the French have gone down a little bit because I think we've seen the rise of the Portuguese league come up recently, especially when you look at the success of Porto in the past few years and then Benfica this year.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's usually at a neutral site. The original venue is supposed to be in Russia. They moved it because of all the stuff happening in the Ukraine and in Russia over there. It's going to be played in Paris. This is the 6th time that these two teams are going to play each other.
Yeah, they played last year. It was on their radar. They played in the quarterfinals last year. Madrid handled them, but that was a Liverpool team that was pretty decimated because they never quite recovered after Van Dijk was out for the year.
And also, Liverpool has won the Champions League 6 times, most recently in 2019. They've been to the final 10 times. For a team that, hasn't won a Premier League, right?
Well, they did 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Besides that, though, they've never won.
Sorry, what I wanted to say was, I worded that terribly. Yeah. For the longest time, it's like they never won their, with Gerrard and those guys, and Michael Owen too, early on. It was like the knock on them was like they would have European success, but then in the Premier League, they would never win it.
Right.
And this is going to be their 10th time in the final. They've won it 6 times. Real Madrid has won it 13 times. The record. It's going to be their 17th time. Some shit can't be written. It feels like poetic, right? Do you know when the last time they lost the Champions League final was? Hint, both of us weren't born yet.
Okay, I was going to guess somewhere in the late 90s, so I assume, was it like 1978 or something?
Very close. 1981. Okay. Do you know who they lost to?
Ajax? I don't know. Let's think of some old powers.
Liverpool.
Oh, wow.
How wild is that?
Who was that, man? Was that like the Ian Rush days? I don't know.
That's deep. Kevin Keegan, probably.
Yeah.
That was my dad's favorite player growing up. That's the only reason why I knew his name. But how crazy is that, dude? I didn't know that when I was gathering notes for this. I didn't know that they last basically our entire lifetime. Real Madrid goes to the final, they win it.
Because they've had some close ones with Atletico multiple times.
Yeah, I'll never forget Zidane, Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah,
just like
that really is one of the greatest goals. Yeah, by far. Especially in a final.
Yeah,
like Mandzukic hit a crazy Pele kick against Madrid in 2017 final. But that doesn't come close to what Zidane did. But that was memorable because when we think of Champions League final goals, let's not forget Gareth Bale not too long ago.
Yeah,
who, man, I would love for him to play, but so he's out of contract and he's definitely not returning Madrid. He's just had a bad falling out with the club. But if he could just somehow come on one last time, oh, what a moment that would be. Because I feel like Madrid, part of the reason why they're in flux is just their big investments have not panned out. Bale has kind of teared off, and Eden Hazard, what a disappointment that's been. Unfortunately, injuries have completely derailed his career.
Yeah, man. He the wear and tear with Chelsea Because I remember at the time, like that run that he had with Chelsea, I remember reading something about him and Bale. Bale was the falling out, but with Hazard, I think he played like the most minutes of any player in the world during that like 4-year stretch he was with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Well, there was a 4-year stretch with Chelsea.
Bale's not done. That's a funny thing. It's like Wales might make the World Cup. They're gonna,
Dude,
yeah.
I'm monitoring that very closely.
Their first game might be against USA.
That's it's between the Ukraine, Wales, and Scotland.
Yeah.
That's going to be the fourth team for Team USA, Iran, and England.
Yeah.
So we'll be watching that very carefully to see.
That's why I was telling people, like, Bale's not done. It's just Madrid. But, like, if you watch Wales, like, he is still the focal point. And who knows? Maybe he'll pop up. But I think Madrid has plenty of other options.
So this is the third time they meet in the final. Liverpool in 1981 beat them 1-0, 3-1 in 2018. And then they've also met the 3 other times, round of 16s, group stages, and then quarterfinals too. So they've met 6 times, but they've played more games because of the home and away. What do you think happens in this game? Like, what's your prediction? What's your thoughts? Are the stars going to show up? Are we going to get PKs? Because I kind of think we see extra time here, man.
Oh, man, I don't think Liverpool, after the 2 cups, I don't think Liverpool wants anything to do with PKs. It's hard to win 2 penalty shootouts, let alone 3.
Yeah.
Especially beating Chelsea twice. I'm still waiting on, like, because no one quite knows what Liverpool's starting 11 is going to be, because you have Fabinho, who hopefully will be back for them, but then Thiago's a major doubt. Van Dijk's just coming back from injury. So we're talking about 3 super influential players.
And right down the middle of the field, too.
Yeah. Like, that's, like, the heart right there. Because to me, Liverpool, they're like the most loaded team in the world. Like, to me, Liverpool has about 8 players that you could say are at the top of their position, between Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Thiago, and then you have Salah and Mane. Like, they only have 3 positions where it's just like they either have players coming up or positions that can be upgraded. So, but the fact is they have 3 doubts, even though I do think, I'm going to say Van Dijk and Fabinho will play. I don't think Thiago will play because he got hurt Sunday, and it's, I think something with, I think it was his groin, and that could be a big issue. And let's not forget, he's an older midfielder.
Yeah.
But I think the game with Liverpool is like, that those first 15, 20 minutes, Klopp style, they're going to be pressing. They're going to be high intensity. They're going to be straight up in Madrid's face, because you don't want Madrid with that midfield get control of the ball. Because that, if you want to break it down, if Madrid has any advantage over them, it's in the midfield. Besides that, I think Liverpool hasn't beaten every other category. So I think how Madrid survives that first 20-minute just rush, that Gergen press, is going to be huge.
Yeah, there's, I think it's Casemiro, Modric, Kroos, and Benzema are the only guys that played in the final a couple years ago. That might be in the 11.
Not Carvajal? Not sure if he was there.
Is he going to be starting, though?
Yeah, he would start the
He
right
would
back,
be?
yeah. And like, Courtois wasn't there yet? I'm trying to remember when Courtois was there.
I think he was still with Chelsea.
Still with Chelsea. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been Navas. People forget about Navas.
Yeah, Navas was there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fascinating because the thing with Real Madrid is, like, even if they fall down 2-0, to them it's like, they're comfortable here.
I mean, yeah, it's happened before, and when you have, to me, the most lethal number 9 in the world right now, anything's possible, because Liverpool will concede chances. Now it's just a matter of capitalizing on them.
Dude, how weird has his career been, Benzema? All right, think about
He's
it.
been at the top for so long, yet it doesn't feel like it.
He's been at the top for so long, but then he had the whole blackmail sex tape scandal that it was with Valbuena.
Yeah.
Gets kicked off the national team. And, you had Mbappe coming up, but that guy definitely could have played in that 11, especially when you look at, he's starting and scoring for Real Madrid. Yeah. And then there was the knock on him. Well, how much of it is Ronaldo setting him up and all that? And then I love Cristiano. He said something really interesting one time. He was like, look, he set me up on a lot of goals, too. It wasn't just one way.
He's very unselfish.
What they call him? The BBC, Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano for like that 2-year run. They were scoring a shitload of goals. And it was really dope because at the time you also had Suarez, Neymar, and Messi. So like those games are always
that was peak La Liga.
That was peak La Liga for sure. But with this game, man, I think, I'm going to side with Liverpool. They are the favorite in it. I do think we see extra time, though. The last couple of Champions League finals have been low scoring, right? Spurs, Liverpool was 2-0. The PSG one with Bayern was 1-0. Last year was 1-0. teams play really tight, but with the press from Liverpool, especially if they could get like an early goal,
Mm-hmm.
things are gonna open up. I see like a 1-1, 2-2, and then you go into extra time. I know Liverpool won't want that,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the injuries and
Right.
all the minutes that those guys have played. But I don't know. There's something about Real Madrid where when they have adversity, they just continue to just play their game and play their style.
My big concern about Madrid though is they're very leaky in the back. Like that Man City game, they
Yeah.
allow a lot of chances, and they got punished for it. I mean, if Liverpool's on their game, they have some of the most deadliest finishers in the world. We know how good Salas, we know how Mane is. Whether they start Diaz or Jota, both of them will deliver most likely. Like Jota's more of a pure goal scorer, but he's always lurking in the box. While Diaz is just this electrifying force where he will just dribble at you. He'll create chances. So they have those options. And let's not forget about Firmino, who could always contribute. So that's what I'm concerned about because Madrid, I think I like Militao. Alaba, I never cared for him as a center back. I think he's better as a left back or in the
Yeah.
midfield. Like I think Alaba as center back is weird. Like so, I'm pretty concerned about Madrid. Even though when Courtois on his game, I think he's the best goalie in the world. When he's on his game, he's a little consistent, but I think no one commands a box better than Courtois. So I think that's like the one thing they have going for them. But that's what I'm most concerned about with Madrid. It's just they allow a lot of chances, and now you're facing a team that is about as clinical as it gets.
Yeah. They do give up a lot of chances, man. Because I remember when Man City played Real Madrid, the first leg in England, they should have been up like 4 or 5 goals the first
Right.
half. You're talking about like high quality chances. And yeah, Courtois made some good saves, but still just the amount of just high level opportunities that you expect the guys that Man City has also to put them in the back of the
Yeah.
net. I remember my pop saying, yo, they're going to be in trouble going back to Madrid. Like, you don't want to give a team like that life. You got to really just, like, destroy them and put them away. I mean, what they did in the return match in Real Madrid, I remember playing Xbox with the guys during the day, and they scored, what was it, like the 89th minute?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm playing Warzone. I look over, and they're celebrating a win. I'm like, holy shit. I was like, yo, I'm getting off. I got to watch the rest of this. It was just unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, that's another question. Will they go with Rodrigo, which could be a bit of a risk because they're going to go with him or Valverde. Valverde is one of the up-and-coming stars, but he's more of a central midfielder. But they play him as a right winger because he gives them a lot for work rate, and he pressures a lot when it comes to doing the defensive duties while also being like that pit bull that could combine the midfield. I think they might do that just because Liverpool's fullbacks are about as prolific as it gets. They push up, they send high quality crosses, and that's another thing. Like Vinicius better be ready to track back because Alexander-Arnold is about as lethal as it gets. Like he gets up there and he sends wicked balls in there. So I think that could, if you want to look at an actual individual matchup, that's the one right there, Vinicius and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Because the knock on Alexander-Arnold used to be not great defensively, can get bodied off the ball a little bit, but he's matured physically. He's now 23. Dude, Trent Alexander-Arnold was literally in a Champions League final playing Madrid when he was like 19.
Yeah.
So he's, for a 23-year-old, he might be the most battle-tested player ever. Like he's been so many finals already, and he takes free kicks. Like he's one of the more enjoyable right backs you'll ever watch. So I think that matchup right there, especially if they get in the 1v1 situation, is one to watch for.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Mbappe, too. Like, Mbappe's only 23, and I feel like he's done it all but winning Champions League.
Yeah, that's the thing with Mbappe, though. It's like he hasn't, like, this Alexander-Arnold's third Champions League final.
Yeah, for sure. And he's, he's had success, too,
Yeah.
like with England going. I mean, Mbappe, too, with the World Cup. But if you have to pick someone that you think scores a goal, we got some degenerates out there, myself included. Who do you think scores a goal in this game?
Someone that you could catch off guard.
Or no, it could even be like I think Salah and Benzema score a goal.
Okay, I think this type of game for Mane. Mane is about whether it's off a header or he just makes a run the box. Like Mane is very clever with his runs. Like he knows how to beat offside traps perfectly. So I could see him going there. But if I could give outsider, I'm not 100% certain if he starts. But if he does, Ibrahim Konate it's either going to be him or Joel Matip at center back alongside Van Dijk. Konate has scored about 4 goals in the past month off corners, and he is just this massive young French center back. Shocking, France has another star coming up.
Yeah.
They have about 15 coming up always. But he came from Leipzig this past summer, and he's just a colossal human being, and he's just dangerous on set pieces. And I think he's someone to watch for if you want to think of someone on a set piece. He's going. Yeah,
I like
because one thing, these midfields don't really score. Like Liverpool,
don't, no.
Yeah, like as great as Madrid's midfield is, they're like the facilitators, and Liverpool's midfielders are more about work rate and passing. Like neither of these teams, they
They'll
play.
let one go though from like 30 out. If they don't look for it, but there was that one game against I think Villarreal where Thiago hit that
Oh
like,
yeah,
knuckleball
that was
off
close.
the post.
Right.
But there was no one was pressing him. He was looking to pass. He's like, yo, I have all this space. I'm gonna let it rip.
Right. But both these teams, their midfields, they have some creative elements, obviously, but they're not the most playmaking, direct goal scoring threats. These teams there are based on their front three and their fullbacks going up. Yeah.
Who lifts the cup and how?
Liverpool. I think Liverpool, not convincingly because I'm more concerned about their midfield, but I do think Liverpool is the better team, and I just trust them to score more goals, and they just have more solidity in the back. Like Van Dijk just makes such a huge difference. He's just that calming presence. He's always positionally sound. And hell, we were talking about matchups, him and Benzema, but I don't think Benzema's seen a center back like him yet. So that's going to be a real fun matchup. But I just think Liverpool's just too talented at this point, and Madrid's been playing with fire, and it's something that I think they're in over the heads this one.
It feels so weird to not pick Real Madrid in a game like this. I know Liverpool is just, they've been in Champions League finals too the last couple of years. So this isn't like new territory for them. But, man, being 13 and 3 in Champions League finals is so wild. I think in regulation it ends as a draw. And then I think Liverpool wins it in extra time. I think Liverpool ends up winning the cup.
Could see a Firmino goal. Maybe Divock Origi shows up his final game. Big Dick Divock, as Liverpool fan calls him.
It's going to be fun, man. I'm really excited for this game. I always usually watch this with my pops, too. But him and my mom are going away this weekend, and then I'm going to be away, too. But I'm definitely going to be tuning into that one. It's going to be a banger.
It's like the perfect sports weekend between this and you got NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. Like, man, Game 6 of Rangers, as New Yorkers, people like New York's going to be shut down. Like,